This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
They're coming out of the hills to conquer the world.
You think your little Euro trash ride can beat my American muscle?
John Reep and his mullet mafia pit muscle against import in an epic 3-round battle for a $10,000 paycheck.
She's gonna ram that American muscle all the way down your throat. Don't mess with rednecks, man.
Are you faster than a redneck?
Bring it on.
Catch a special preview after the trucks race, February 22nd, only on Speed.
Heffron and Reep. Shameless plugs.
The Birmingham Stardome, March 8th through 9th. Probably when I go from there to Dallas, Fort Worth Hyenas. I'll be there March 15 and 16. And then I got a little time off. And then I'm going to Virginia Beach, Funny Bone, April 5 and 6. And then from there, it's going to be all Tennessee dates. Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville, April 11 through 13. April 18 through 20, I'll be in Chattanooga at the Comedy Catch. And then April 25 through 27, I'll be in Knoxville at Side Splitters. Your turn, buddy.
All right, this month, March, right? We're in March already? This month, March 14th through the 16th, I will be at the Comedy Works in Denver. The one that's not downtown, the other one. It confuses me every time I go. But
yeah, the one that's at the landmark or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So I'll be there the 14th through the 16th. The 21st through the 24th, you can see me at the Cincinnati Funny Bone, which is actually in Kentucky. And then April 4th through the 5th, I will be in San Jose, California. And
do you know how to get there?
I do know the way to San Jose. Okay. And then May 9th through the 11th, all you peeps in Hot Atlanta, I will be at the Punchline. That's May 9th through the 11th. And you can get all the dates that me and John will be at if you go to heffronandreep.com. Just click on the show thingy, and usually all our dates are up there. And
Heffron and Reep. Subject change.
In Atlanta. I was just in Cartersville, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, about 45 minutes or so. And Jamie Bendel, you know, he's the club owner there, right? You know Jamie, right?
Yeah.
He was, because when I got this theater gig, I thought, well, let's make sure it's cool with Jamie because I don't want to burn a bridge. You know, I don't want him to get mad that I played somewhere that's basically his neck of the woods without telling him.
Right.
You know, sounds very mafia-esque. But anyway, I called him. I said, hey, I got this opportunity for a big theater gig in Cartersville. He's like, yeah, let me open up for you. So I'm like, okay, cool. And Jamie does stand up. You know, he's funny. He's almost like Carson-esque. Like if Johnny Carson were alive today, Jamie Bendel is almost like that. He wears a suit. He's very well manicured. He does his jokes like a monologue. It's great. Crowds love him. Safe, clean. But TJ Markwalter, my agent, told him the wrong time. So the show was supposed to start at 7. He thought it was at 7:30. And so he was literally like 15 minutes late. And I had to dock his pay. Just kidding.
Do you know the coolest thing about Jamie? This is, he owns a great comedy club and he does other stuff. That dude owns, and I hope I'm not, well, it's not like he owns a rec basketball league.
What?
Like, you know those leagues that you play if you're like, hey, I'm, over 35 league or whatever, your law firm has a basketball team and you guys play against other,
right.
teams. He owns one of those in that area.
I didn't know that. I knew he had like a car dealership.
No, he owns a basketball league. I think it's like I want to own something like that. That's why I want us to own a roller derby team.
Oh, yeah.
Or why can't we own like a league or something? I'm telling you.
Yeah, interesting.
That's some baller type stuff.
I wouldn't even know how to get into that, how that starts.
How do you even know that that exists for even somebody to own? I wouldn't even know that. Would you? I mean, I guess somebody does.
That's one of those unknowns.
I also learned this week. Did you know the FedEx dealers or FedEx workers, the people who deliver they own their route. Did you know that?
No, but I did know that they own their own truck a lot of times.
They own their own truck and their route. So if you have the same FedEx guy, they buy that like section of street.
Oh, okay.
And they get that whole little thing. And then I didn't know that. Why? Let's buy some FedEx routes. How do you do that?
Well, wait, why would you want to buy a FedEx route? Then you'd have to start delivering packages.
No, but then you have to, because somebody owns the route, and then the deliverer guy, the FedEx guy, delivers the thing, and FedEx like pays him. But there's somebody that owns that.
You mean like you could own the route and not work for FedEx?
Yeah, you have somebody else do it.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder how much that goes for.
The guy who the car service that I had this week, this is how we were talking about it. His son tried to get a loan to buy the route for $59,000, and the bank wouldn't give it to him because he never really had credit, which is just bullshit, because you want, blue collar people to do well or whatever, and then the bank won't even lend $59,000 to a guy who has no marks on his credit so he can open up a small business. But so he didn't get it, and that's what our conversation was. But that's where I learned that those guys own those routes.
$59,000.
I don't know how long. I don't know how many blocks that was, or probably if you delivered in New York, I would guess it would be $1 bazillion, because
that's crazy.
You'd pick up a bunch of stuff.
And how do you make the FedEx guys have to pay you to deliver packages on your route?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
I don't know how you get your money back if you own it. How do you get paid back?
You if you get a percentage of all the packages
crazy.
Delivered within those streets, do you? If not, I would be really pushing. I would convince every old lady to sell shit on eBay who lived in my route. I would constantly be trying to think of ways for them to ship stuff.
And you would make sure that you hired the hottest FedEx people, so they'd want to see them a lot.
Yeah, that's what we could do. We'll find an area that has the most divorced women.
There you go.
And then we'll just go, probably getting some Latin kid or something. He's 19-year-old.
Right.
And we'll put him on the route.
Yeah, and then make him wear this tightest
stuff. And he's oh, this is very hot. Do you mind if I get some water?
Please.
And then he'll go in, and then these women will just do you see that movie in the 80s when they were ordering pizza? And if
With
you order
anchovies.
Yes. Well, yeah. If you ordered,
was that called Can't Buy Me Love, or was that?
Yeah, with Dempsey.
Yeah.
And so we'll have a code for the ladies who want to send FedEx packages that really actually would like a package delivered, if you know what I'm talking about, John Rape. Boom! That's an innuendo.
You want to be a package handler? Uh-huh. Well, we're opening.
We'll have some keyword we'll have to think something delivered these shoes were too big. I need to send them back, or something like that. That's a lame one. And then we'll make so much money.
All right.
Because there's a lot of money in prostitution. We'll just do it
Yeah, this is like a form of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what can Brown do for you? No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. By the way, also this weekend, I was doing a show, and I was working with this young comic, and I asked him. He goes, I got to tell you, dude, the podcast is great. He goes, I love it. It's really dialed in. He goes,
and then you go, thanks. That's all I need to hear. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. And then I asked him. I go, well, what do you like about it and stuff? And he, he said what it was. If I was to say it, then it would sound like we're bragging. But he likes, whatever. And then I asked him about the game, because, we always play trivia game. And I go,
sometimes.
I go, how do you, do you like the trivia game in the very beginning of the show? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I like it because I play along, but I could take it or leave it.
Okay.
Is what he said. And then I said, well, the only reason why I would keep the trivia game, I think I enjoy the intros in the songs of the trivia game more than the trivia game.
Right.
And then if we don't have the trivia game, then we can't play those intros.
What if we just play the intros, and the trivia game is one question, and that's it, we move on?
Yeah, right?
He'd probably love that.
Or do we get rid of it? Is it just true and false? We do one?
I don't know. I kind of he said it, he said he likes playing along, so that means
but he also said he could take it or leave it. But, that would probably be true. A lot of people probably have that opinion of me.
Well, I think we can't base our decision off of one opener that you worked with on the road. I think we got to trust ourselves a little bit. And
you know what? Then we haven't done it in a while. Let's just do it.
Yeah, I like playing. Let's play.
Do
You got a game for me?
I got a game, but you know what? Since we were talking about it, we might as well play this song one more.
Yeah, the Heffron and Reep Show trivia game.
He was born 1971, and that's what I'm going to say.
1971?
Well, I'll give you the full clue, but you're going to get it right off of this clue. He was born in 1971 in Boston and the youngest of 9 children.
Larry Bird.
Nope.
No, not 1971. Youngest of children. Was it Marky Mark? Mark Wahlberg.
That's it. You got it on the first one. See, we didn't even get to go through. So
and that's the end of the game.
Oh, it's the Heffron and Reep game time. Whoa, it's the Heffron and Reep game time.
Heffron and Reep. Subject change.
All right, perfect. So, are you faster than a redneck? Let's chat about that show.
Yeah, well, you tweeted me. The last one that aired was the episode where John Schneider, Bo Duke, one of them Dukes, comes on. And I remember getting a tweet from you saying, like, haha, you said dick on TV or something like that.
Yeah, because I saw it.
It tells me that you did watch. And I'm very happy to hear that my podcast partner is watching.
I had not seen it up until then. And yesterday it was on. And I saw it on the thing. And then I was like, I got to record these. And there were a couple back-to-back.
Right.
So then my wife was flipping through something. And then I saw it was 9. And I'm like, switch it over, Reep's on. And then she goes, well, we're recording it. And I go, yeah, but switch it over. I want to see the beginning. And then she goes, but we need to wait 5 or 6 minutes so we don't have to watch it with commercials. And I go, can you just flip it over to the thing, please? It's starting right now, and we can watch the beginning now and possibly be done with it instead of waiting for 5 or 6 minutes. And then it turned into who had the remote, and then her just unwillingness to just flip it over. I just wanted her to fucking flip over to that's all I needed her to do. And yet it turned into a thing. So then we ended up watching DVR and then playing, and then we ended up watching the entire thing.
And now you guys sleep in different bedrooms.
Now we sleep in different bedrooms, and I'm getting a divorce, but I'm glad your show was well.
Okay.
Here's what I liked about it. One, and this is me just not, it was more real than I thought it was.
Oh, good.
Do you know what I mean? Like when they were racing, I was like, oh, I really want to see what this car is going to do. And then when the one guy said, I'll go against the Camaro, then I was like, why would he go against the Camaro? So I actually got vested into it, where I picked out of the 3 cars, I was picking which car I think would be the fastest. So I kind of liked that whole thing. I liked when the guy got smacked in the face. That was cool. The only thing but I might be a little bit older, is I wish that they would play out the race, but I guess they do this in every show. Like, I would like to see the race as is without all the edits. Because then I don't really know who's winning. Like, I would kind of just like to see it, almost like if you're watching NASCAR, you want to see and do all that stuff on the side.
Yeah, that would be like the longest. It would be more than a half hour then.
Yeah, I know why they have to edit it, but that was the only, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're not, believe me, the parts that we cut out, you're not missing much.
Okay, perfect.
And that's just like, if some guy, like the last episode where Bo Duke gets beat by a Nissan GTR, he pretty much lost that race in the first 5 seconds.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then for the next 3 laps, the kid was just almost lapped him. I mean, he was like, that was way, way faster than Bo Duke, but not because the car is definitely faster, or is as fast, but there's a lot of driver experience or error that comes in there, and this kid was a more experienced driver, I think, than John Schneider was. And so John said, fuck it, I'm going to go through the infield, and decided to just do donuts in the middle. And he said, he goes, well, if I lose, I'm at least going to put on a show. And he did, so that was kind of fun. And those redneck guys, the Mullet Mafia guys, they love seeing that, because that was like old school Dukes of Hazzard stuff, where they're like going through fields and shit, jumping rivers and creeks.
Now on that and the Mullet Mafia, are they the same guys every show?
Yes, yeah. The same, like 6 or 7 dudes.
And my wife's question was, are those guys friends of yours, or did the show put them together?
The show put them together. I didn't know them till we started shooting. I showed up and got to know them. But yeah, I think they just sort of the production company has done other like sort of racing shows for a Speed Network in the past, and has used some of these guys in other shows. So they already knew them. They had a relationship with them, but I was the outsider. I didn't know them at all.
How loud was the Bandit car?
Oh, that's pretty loud. That one's loud, and there's most all of them are pretty loud. I think the loudest one might be that Green Grenade, though, the one that was built from scratch. It's a Camaro.
Yeah.
That one's really fast, and it's also really loud. Another guy named Kyle Tucker has a blue Camaro, which hasn't been seen yet, that is also really loud. But these guys, like I said, here's what the feedback I'm getting from the people who don't like it are saying stuff like, well, it's not fair. You redneck guys get in there and you modify your cars, and these punk import drivers are just coming up with their cars off the stock, off the shelf, not doing anything. And that's not true. Everyone is allowed to modify and tweak their car. We encourage it. And you saw in this last episode a GTR that had been modified and tweaked with, and he was way faster than our car. So when people say it's not fair, that's just not true. It is fair. And you'll see as the season goes along, we don't win all of them. We lost the last one, and I'm not going to let anything away, but we don't win all of them.
It's a good show, man.
Thanks, man. It was like I said, 8 days, 10 days doing 8 episodes in Kershaw, and it was pretty hectic, man. But so far, I'm getting like 80 to 90% positive feedback. I think the numbers are good, and yeah, that bitch slap that was day one. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, I think on the one or the other one, but it looked real. That's what I liked. When you reached into the car and you saw on the guy's face that you could tell he really got hit.
He really got hit.
Yeah, he didn't
pissed. Know how to react to it.
No,
I didn't see it. I had already talked to the kid and then turned my back and walked away. And then he walked over.
Yeah,
slapped. I just heard a slap and turned around. I was like, oh shit.
And he was buckled in, for his neck was protected and stuff from the race. So he couldn't, you couldn't like jump out of the car and start fighting the guy because he was.
Thought you were saying, well, it was at least safe that he was buckled in.
Well, yeah, he was strapped in. There wasn't, it's kind of at that point it was kind of like smacking a kid in a car seat.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
Honestly, the guy who smacked him would have beat his ass anyway if he would have got.
yeah, because that dude was little. So
yeah. I actually felt bad for that kid when that happened. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, because he came on a reality show. He's like, wait a second, you're not allowed to get hit on a reality show.
Was not expecting that at all. But so far, so good. We're going to plug along every Monday night, 9 p.m. Keep watching and get on there. We got a little Facebook page, too, that we have called Are You Faster Than a Redneck Facebook page where people are trash talking to each other. So if you want to get on the trash talk, go to that web Facebook page and jump on in. Well, I'm glad you watched, man. I'm glad you watched it. Hopefully we can get more people into a season 2. Although if there's a season 2, I'll tell you what I don't like about it, and this is just me being critical of me. I don't like. I think I could have downplayed the rednecky a little bit. Like they wanted me to be the same character that I was in those Dodge truck commercials. That thing got a Hemi. Like they wanted to be over the top, sort of hardcore redneck guy, and that's what I did, man. It's turned up to 10 for this show, but I don't think I needed to go there. Now that I watch it, there are moments where I realize, like, I could have just been myself here, and then it would have worked because the redneck guys could have just been the redneck guys, and I could have just been the host, and that would have been fine. So I don't know if there's a season 2, I might downplay the redneck side of me just a tinge and just be more real. And just let the show speak for itself a little bit. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's annoying that I'm over the top? And then now that you know who I am and I'm not, it's like there's the redneck me turned up to 10, then there's real, like what? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I actually thought hosting that you like whatever. I'm trying to even think of what you hosted very clear. So you weren't like, and then these guys are gonna go do. You know what I mean? You were just pretty clear because there's.
Oh, you mean when I got the information out?
Yeah. Like there's everybody has different modes of performing. When I'm on the podcast, my energy levels probably dialed down 5 or 6 notches opposed to when I'm on stage.
Yeah,
they're different. There's different. You step in and out of different roles, especially now when you see all the quote unquote rednecky guys on all the reality shows. To me, they're all super over the top fake. All those Duck Dynasty guys, all those guys. To me, it's just like, like if you look at like a Larry the Cable Guy, right, who was like, hey, I'm a redneck. Now you see him and look at some of those reality shows, everybody is that, if not even more over top than him, and he's playing a character.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
By the way, he tweeted me the other day out of the blue.
Oh, yeah?
Larry the Cable Guy, yeah. Like, that dude's got like 250,000 followers on Twitter.
I've never not heard, Tammy Pescatelli's a friend of him. I've never not heard nothing but cool stories about him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as far as being a good guy. And stuff.
Good guy, supportive. I did his Larry the Cable Guy's Hula Palooza Christmas special. That's where I got to know him. And when I worked on that show with him, I played like his grandfather in a sketch. I played like Kris Kringle, and he was Santa Claus, and we were a wrestling match.
What's the first thing you do if you had that type of money?
Oh, God. I don't know. Well, how much money does he have?
He's got bazillions. But what would be the most insane thing that you would do with the cash?
Insane thing I would do?
Yeah. Like,
something that's not logical. Like, just why would you do that?
No, to your house, let's say.
Oh, I'd get rid of this house. I'd be getting a new place. And I like my place now, but it's just, I want a house.
But if you were to, like, silver spoons the house. Remember that show? We had like you had a train running through and a bunch of arcade games.
A remote control for the front door.
Yes. Oh, that's right. He did. What would you do that would just be so completely insane that somebody would go, you know how many homeless people you could feed with that thing you built? Like, would you, Michael Jackson, never rant it minus the molestation? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. God, I don't know.
I would do indoor. Like, I watched that show, $1 Million Homes. Ever see that, $1 Million Rooms?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And I see some stuff. I would do indoor basketball court, and I don't even play basketball. I just like shooting. I would do that, and then I would do indoor pool. Yeah. That would be the first thing if you get me like some kind of crazy money.
Now that you told me you got...
And I buy that toilet for $5,000. They have that toilet, that Toto one that you can...
It talks to you?
It talks to you, it warms your butt, and then shoots water up in there, and then it emails you, like, what's in your piss.
All right. Hang on. I want to read you. I will answer that question, but first I want to read you the tweets that Larry the Cable Guy had. He said, hey, John, just checking in. Saw you on here. Hope all is well. And so I thought, oh, cool. I responded to him, and I said, Larry, all caps.
Right.
So what's up, buddy? All is well. Promoting the crap out of my new show for Speed TV called Are You Faster Than a Redneck? You? Now, I know that goes to, like, all his core...
Did you do dot? Like, is it kind of shitty when you go dot at the person's name?
That's just how you respond. I just hit reply, and it does that for you. Like, I didn't go out of my way to put at Get Her Done Larry, which is his Twitter thing. I just replied to what he sent me, and it did that anyway. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So, but listen to this, because he knows what I did there, right? Basically, I'm plugging my show.
On his thing, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But I was doing it in a funny, joking way. And then he did the exact same thing back to me, right? So he goes, all is good. Season 3 of Only in America starts May 9th for 16 weeks. Congrats on the show. It's going to rock. Stay in touch. And so we both kind of did a funny little thing to each other there. Okay. Sorry, I was like looking that up while you were talking. Now, what I would do, I saw this on a show kind of like what you were saying, $1 Million Homes.
Right.
Forgot who this guy was, but he was some rich Hollywood producer. And in his bedroom, okay, you wake up, and then right next to the bed, but it's a huge bedroom.
Right.
But somewhere in the bedroom, there's a small pool, like the size of a large hot tub.
Right.
He can jump in there and swim under the wall and go outdoors to the outdoor pool. So it's an indoor-outdoor pool, but there's a portion of the indoor that goes to his bedroom. So he can literally wake up in the morning and go, jump in the pool, swim under the house, and be outdoors.
Now, I just picture, because I'm such a crazy security, I think people are trying to... I'd be afraid of that, because I would think, for some reason, SEAL Team 6 would decide to go into the pool, pop up out of the water, and then just light up the bed.
That is kind of scary, though. Yeah.
I would, to me, that would...
I think there's some sort of thing you could do to lock it off at night, I'm sure. There's got to be some sort of security thing you could do.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. I'd like to do like maybe a bowling alley.
Bowling alley would be cool.
Yeah, bowling. Maybe like a karaoke
If you had a franchise of a restaurant, what would you throw in?
Oh, you mean like something in the restaurant?
You could make a food court. If you had a food court.
What you mean? What kind of food would I serve, or what fun thing would I put in there?
What food court? Like, what restaurant? Like now, I've just decided when I get crazy rich, when my book comes out, I'm going to put a mini food court in the middle of my house, and it's gonna have like like 5 or 6 tables, and then I'm gonna have just like you're at the food court with trays, and you have to go up, and each little compartment is gonna sell different stuff. I just decided I'm gonna get a food court. We want to be here's the goal for everybody listening to the podcast is let's all become food court rich.
Yeah, I want to be food court rich.
I would
definitely have a Chick-fil-A.
Because you hate gays.
No, because
would your Chick-fil-A be open on Sundays?
I don't want to eat chicken on Sundays. That's why.
Dude, we have food. I want to be 80s mall rich. I'm gonna have a chess king, a merry-go-round. I'm gonna have my clothes literally look like they're in a store. My closet's gonna look like a clothing store, and then right in front of my closet, I'm gonna have 5 or 6 tables like a food court, and then I'm gonna have the restaurants all right there. That's gonna be my part of the house.
That's huge. That's a big house. What you should do is buy an old mall, like one that's been shut down, and then just rebuild it back slowly, one place at a time. Like maybe like the whole middle section of the mall is your living room, and then like each little store, the Chess King, it doesn't exist anymore, but you rebuild it. Chess King, you put all your clothes in there, right? And then you rebuild the other store like an arcade, and you put all the newest video games in there. So you buy an old mall and then redo it that way. I don't know how much that would cost though.
Well, no, I mean, look at if you're especially in certain areas, you could probably buy a mall because there's.
Yeah. We'd go back to your old stomping grounds, Detroit, and get us a whole neighborhood if we wanted to.
If you go a thing. But now if you bought a mall, okay, let's say you now we've upped it. Now we're beyond food court rich. Although I think we can get food court rich doesn't seem that. I think we can do it.
What food would you ask me? What food would you have in there?
Man, I think I would have I would say around like Sbarro's pizza. You know that pizza.
I was about to say Sbarro. I swear to God.
Yeah.
If you would have let me guess, I would have said Sbarro first.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be weird when you have the employees. Now you gotta have random employees, and then do you have that security guy that sits there and talks to employees and asking for free drinks? But so I'm gonna serve all my stuff. I'm not like that crazy of a person. But right. I think I would go with the pizza place.
Yeah.
And then. Man, I might have to go to the pretzel place just because I eat so many of them at airports with cinnamon on them.
Now, follow-up question. Do you go Aunt Annie's or do you go Wetzel Pretzel?
Wetzel Pretzels at most airports, right?
I've seen both in many airports. I go Aunt Annie's.
You go Aunt Annie's. And then I've also decided I'm going to put a kiosk in the food court. And it's just going to be like sunglasses because I always lose my sunglasses.
Okay.
So I want that Middle Eastern kid who usually tries to sell you helicopters. I want him in front of the selling me sunglasses and putting screen protectors on my iPhone. I might hire that kid.
Yeah.
He seems like he knows how to do a lot of stuff.
Smells like Drakkar Noir.
Every morning you wake up and there's a girl there trying to sell you a crimping iron or put shit on your hands.
Did you ever see that movie? I think it was with either Gary Coleman or Emmanuel Lewis. I can't remember which one it was. About a kid who lived in the mall. I mean, this was like an 80s movie. I think it was Gary Coleman actually, where he got he was in a runaway or like a kid from an orphanage who escaped, and then somehow he ended up in a mall, and then he would just hide in the mall when they were closed, and then at night he just would roam the mall and it was his house at night.
Well, you could do it back in the day. They had I guess you still have them, all the clothes were in the circle,
I used to hide in those when I was a kid from my mom.
Yeah, and you get under, and while your mom's trying to put shit on layaway back then, you would hide in there, and nobody knew where their kids were, so you could hide.
Yeah.
But I immediately think if you're in any big building like that and you stay overnight, that it immediately turns into The Shining.
Oh yeah.
If I bought a mall.
Two twin girls come out in big wheels going, red pad!
Yeah, and then I go, oh, this mall's the greatest. I'm going to make my food court right here. And then it would be really fun at first. And then while you're sitting there, you'd hear, people walking around and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, that would be kind of scary, though. I mean, but are there security guards that stay in the mall overnight, or are they just outside the mall? Like, could you literally do this? I think this would be a good idea, like a fun thing to do.
To sneak into the mall? Try to stay?
It's like flash mob, but instead it's like overnight lock-in mob, where like you get like a group of people and you say, meet us at this mall, and we're all going to hide in the mall, and then when they close the mall, we're going to come out and party and just have a huge party in the mall.
Look at that, we're writing a scary movie, because that's what happens in the first scene. Is somebody goes, we should all sneak in this mall, it's going to be really fun, we do a flash mob. And then they sneak in it, and it actually locks, but yet the mall security guard is a killer.
Right.
And then he starts killing everybody. And then, what's it like? Let's hide in Claire's. Let's hide in Claire's. And then the girls.
I'm going to hide in Sears in the tool section.
And then they run into Claire's, and then he kills them with those things that pierces your ears.
Yeah.
You know that ear piercing thing? He sets you in that chair, and he just starts shooting the ear piercing shit all over your face.
Right. You look like a pincushion by the time he's done with you. Yeah. That's one way he kills people. He kills people many different ways depending on what store.
What store you're in? Oh, can you imagine that eyebrow place where they sew your eyebrows? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, he wraps that stuff around your neck and then kills you.
Right. Yeah. Or you could be in Sears and then there's a chainsaw.
Oh, you're dead in Sears. Like, if I was running through the mall and I saw Sears, that's like the last place you'd want to go.
Where would be the safest place? Like Bed Bath & Beyond, or no, there's dangerous things in there.
Just Dive a chocolate? Yeah, I wouldn't go into Bed Bath & Beyond. Maybe
like a pillow store. Just Pillows Is Us.
Yeah, the safest place. Then the whole movie, they were trying to go, we have to get to the Sleep Number store. That's the only place that just survivals. We have to get to the Sleep Number store.
Right. He comes in there and he's like, oh, we'll put you on sleep number 9.
No, I like 75. I can't. He dilated. He has you hooked up to that machine. Well, how's it feel now? Dude, that's a great movie.
There we go. It's definitely
and then they have to try to hotwire the car that's in the middle of the mall, and then that's how they decide they're going to get out.
Right.
There's like a minivan. They're like, we got to get in that, and then they go to.
Seriously though, I think I would like to figure this out. Could you sneak in? Go to a mall during business hours and then stay there, hide. And when they close, I'll wonder. They got to have cameras in there, right? Or at least
motion sensors. Yeah, there's no way you could. I don't think you could now. Maybe in the 70s or 80s you could, but now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You couldn't, when I go to bed, you couldn't get around my house without me catching it on camera.
What you have to do is buddy up with the security guards, find out who that guy is. The security guards have to be in on it, right?
Or it's like, what's the Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Ocean's 11?
Right.
It's kind of like you have to do that. You just have to plot it out.
Right, exactly.
Now, could you if you were to put together a mall infiltration team, you'd think you'd want a bunch of people who are really good at miming, because the people who could act like mannequins, I think would definitely be in.
Yeah, although that would be the hardest way.
You'd have to find some douchey mannequins. If you fought some guys that were really douchey mimes, then they could pull off sneaking into the buckle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then you have all that just mech jeans type shit, and then you just stand there like all douchey. I saw a mannequin at a clothing store.
For a long time.
I saw a mannequin at a clothing store. I took a picture, and I'll try to put it up on our page. He was standing so douchey that I literally almost physically got mad. He felt like the mannequin felt like he was bowing up, where if you looked at it straight on, something inside of you would start to piss you off so bad that you wanted to punch that mannequin.
Oh, that would be a great scene. I would love to find a YouTube clip of you one day just beating the shit out of a buckle mannequin.
Well, wait, didn't
way he was standing.
Wasn't there that other weird movie in the 80s that had the mannequin, where the mannequin came alive and he stayed in at the mall and boned her?
Yeah, it was a hot chick mannequin, though. It was the chick from the Sex and the City. What's her face? The slutty one. I don't know. I watched Sex and the City. What was her name, though? She was also in Porky's. Anyway, yeah.
Let's go back to our mall horror film.
Okay. Well, before we do that, I want to take one other tangent.
Okay.
I just thought of a great idea for a sort of hidden camera sort of spoof show. Okay, now there's this new phenomenon. You know how now the Harlem Shake is big, right? That's a big thing that's going on. There's always viral videos that catch on.
Before you go, should we just be done with our mall execution movie, our mall horror flick?
Did you
ever go back to it?
You obviously have one more thing you wanted to say.
No, I'm done. I've had a quad shot of cappuccino today.
Yeah.
And 3 cupcakes. So my brain's already already gone. It's past them all.
All right, screw them all.
But if we do this movie, think about it. You know how like people when they saw Psycho, they were afraid to go in the shower.
Yeah.
Or if it's Jaws, you're afraid to go into the thing. Can you imagine like if we just picked a store and everybody was like, I can never go into Build-A-Bear again.
I can't go in there.
Build-A-Bear would be a good.
That you're building a bear.
The Build-A-Bear would be a good place. How the killer would kill you in Build-A-Bear would hurt.
Rip your head off and stuff it full of stuffing, you know.
Or Supercuts or the Regis, like all those bad haircut. Well, you know those
Supercuts, Master Cuts, Regis. Yeah.
Hot dog on a stick. You would die pretty bad.
Yeah. Any sort of like makeup store, you know, you'd come out there looking great, but you'd be dead.
I guess you'd probably go, we need to get to the Mac store to let people know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then like it's like the guy who kills you in there is also like does funerals, so like he's like knows how to make you look like a pretty corpse. I don't know. It's got wheels.
Oh yeah, he takes you to the man. Yeah, after he kills you, and then he gets really psycho-y because the other kids are hiding, so he doesn't know where they are. Then he takes the one girl that he really liked to the Mac store, not to the Apple store, but to the Mac makeup. And then he totally does her face to make her look alive.
Exactly. See, it's happening. We're writing it.
We can do that right there. Somebody needs to Vine this on Vine. Have you downloaded Vine yet? Somebody needs to shoot this film for us.
No, what's Vine?
You don't even want to know. It's like Twitter, but it's 6 seconds of video. So it's not like pictures. It's not like, but everyone's doing it. So you need to get your Vine account. Just go VINE. But it's intimidating how funny and how cool some of this stuff is. And it's like, who's got that kind of time?
Right.
Like Bert Kreischer does it a lot, and Brody Stevens has some good ones. And
I'll have to go check it out. Have you heard of Snapchat?
My stepdaughter had. I think to me that just seems like another way to show your junk to people.
Pretty much, I think this
because there's nothing goes away. Even if you Snapchat it or Snapchat it, you can still zap that picture on your phone. You can save it like instantly, right? So it's not safe to do.
If you're good at it, yeah, you can set the time too. You can set it for 4 seconds or 1 second. You can set it for 1 second. Now, could you actually take a picture on your phone for something that only lasted 1 second? I don't know if you could. Not if you were not ready for it. You don't know when.
That's what I mean. If you're not ready, but if you know it's coming, then you can have your finger on that button that'll screen capture it. If you know it's coming.
Yeah.
So all the kids out there, don't forget that even though it goes away. Okay, so we went on a million tangents. We'll leave the mall. I don't think we leave the mall thing alone. I think it's something we come back to because that would make a great scary film. Maybe we should starter that little thing and we'll shoot it.
Well, I have
because we haven't finished the how do you sneak into the mall, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to sneak in. You just have to be able to stay in. You can just walk in during business hours. You got to figure out how to stay there after they close and hide.
There's got to be a guy walking around, right?
In the mall?
Yeah, because how early do those security people get there when the mall walkers show up? Those old people show up probably pretty early.
Yeah, I used to work at a mall years ago. And
I did too. Don't tell me would you like to guess? I worked at a store at the mall. I believe my freshman year of college, I got fired pretty quick. But would you like to guess the store?
Okay. Yes. Can I whittle it down? Can I ask some questions?
Sure. And all I'm going to say is I'm going to say yes or no.
Okay. All right. Was it food?
No.
Was it clothing?
Yes.
Shoes?
Yes.
Was it Foot Locker?
No.
Athletic Attic?
No.
Am I getting close?
No.
All right. Chess King?
No.
This is what year was this?
90.
Did they sell more than clothes and shoes?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're talking like JCPenney, Belk, Macy's, that kind of thing. A department store. Was it a department store?
No.
Damn it. I give up. Just tell me.
It was the Disney store.
The Disney store! That's what I said.
You never said the Disney store.
You did not work at a Disney store.
I worked at they made me wear the cardigan that said Disney on it. I'm not kidding you.
Why did you work at a Disney store?
I have no idea. Like, I was broke, and I was 19 years old, and went to the mall, and for some reason...
Were they the only ones hiring that day?
It's like the worst mashup of somebody who would work there. But I remember stocking the shelves, and you had to wear the
it kind
outfit.
of makes sense a little bit because you are childlike in a lot of ways. I mean this in a good way, John. So I can see you enjoying, like, working in a Disney store and secretly, like, you know, like...
Wait, I would like to say I didn't work at a Disney store, John Reep. I was a cast member.
Okay, I got you. All right. Wow. That's awesome. How was the audition process?
That's what they called it instead of work out. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So what did you do there? I mean, you sold shoes at the Disney store?
Well, they had Tinkerbell slippers. I mean, that was a tough way, but they had slippers, like, because they sold little kid, dresses.
So this was 91. What was big in 91 at the Disney store? Like, what movie was big? Was it Aladdin or something? I don't know. What was big?
I don't even, I put it so far.
Because they seem to always change their store depending on what Disney hit is big at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
so it was, let's see. It was, Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, right.
Beauty and the Beast.
Did they make you dress up like certain characters from Disney?
No, you just had to wear this gay-ass cardigan that said D on it, like, for Disney.
Right.
And then there was a screen where they show old Disney DVDs, and it would just constantly be running.
So were you just like a cashier? Were you a guy who, like a salesman on the floor, or what did you do? Stock shelves?
Stock shelved, walked around. Yeah. I got to tell you, after talking about this is the first time I've thought about this in maybe 15, 20 years. I don't even remember what I did.
Well, maybe I can get something out of you here because this could be maybe used in your book that you're writing. It's good to brainstorm. So what, did you say you got fired from there?
I think I quit.
Okay.
Because it was as horrific as you think it would be. It was. And plus I was like I said, I was 19. I was trying to do comedy, and they wanted you to work weekends. And then I realized, okay, I'm wearing a cardigan and working at retail. It's time.
Did you have other friends in the mall that would come by and heckle you?
I had it was one of those things where no friends. And I must have hated it so bad. I'm trying to tell a funny story or something interesting that happened. Yeah. I've oppressed that memory so much that I don't remember anything.
Well, can you tell me about your boss? What was your boss like? Was he way older than you, dude, chick?
If you were to give me $10,000, and I would have to pick out 5 people I worked with out of 10, I would not be able to pick out one person.
Not even like a cute girl that you had like a tiny crush on, huh?
Not a one.
Damn.
I don't think I could pick out one person.
Were you smoking the ganja back then?
I was not. I was just 19.
Right. Well, there's 19-year-olds who smoke the ganja.
Yeah. No. I don't remember anything.
Wow.
And all I remember is you got, like, if you went to Disneyland or Disney World, you got an extra some stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
so we were talking about that, and then I was talking about at the mall because
wait, before you go, hang on now.
Okay. And then this thing.
Yeah, I worked
that's right.
at an athletic attic. That's why I brought that one up. You know what an athletic attic is?
Like Foot Locker-ish?
Yeah, it's like a poor man's Foot Locker.
Right.
And this was when I was in college. I had to get a job, a little side job. I thought, well, I'll go to the mall, get a job at a shoe store. I go get this job. And the hardest part was trying to, like, someone will walk in and go, oh, I like these shoes. Do you have these in a 9.5?
Right.
And then you have to go upstairs to the warehouse in the attic. Actually, they have an attic. And the attic was gigantic. And all the boxes looked exactly the same. And I was like, I would take me 15, 20 minutes to come back with a pair of shoes. I was the worst person. If someone said, do you know what this is? I would go like, I kind of do. It's going to take a while. But my boss was just a huge dickhead. And he would yell at me and be like, "Where you been, man? There's all these customers. I'm doing all this by myself." It's like, dude, I've only been here 3 days. I haven't memorized the whole floor plan to the attic yet. I don't know where the kevs are or whatever. And so we would scream at each other. And finally, I realized, like, I'm done with this job. I am quitting. And to get him back, what I did was, it was a Friday. I came dressed to work in the uniform, right?
What kind of uniform did you guys have?
It was like khaki pants and like a collared shirt that you had to wear tucked in. It said Athletic Attic on it or something like that. And so I came ready to work, but it was a Friday. It was a payday. And I came like 15 minutes early to pick up my check, and they have a bank in the mall. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'll be right back. I'm just going to pick up my check, go cash it. I'll be right back." He's like, "Okay, man, hurry up. It's Friday. It's going to be busy." I'm like, Yeah. Never went back, never called, got my check, left. Fuck that guy. And then I would call back. Just to fuck with him, I would call back like later on in the year and have my friends call like, "Yeah, is that John guy worked there? He really helped me out. I'm the coach of a basketball team, and he helped my whole," like asking for me as a salesman just to piss. No, he doesn't work here.
That reminded me, actually, from after I left the Disney store, there was some like mom and pop restaurant at the mall. And I started working there, and the woman who owned it, I had an apron on, and somebody said, "Who's that?" And then she goes, "Oh, we hired another frozen Coke boy," is what she said. And then I had my apron on still. I turned the corner, like went around the counter, and I just walked to my car and I left because she called me that. And then for about 2 weeks after, nonstop every day, called about 5 times a day asking for the apron back.
Please tell me you still have the apron.
I have no idea where the apron at or the Disney cardigan. I have no idea where that is too.
That's great. When I worked at I did work at a Chick-fil-A in the mall for a while. That was one of the first jobs I had.
Right.
And sometimes when we weren't so busy, they would, there'd be a guy. You'd have to stand out there with a tray of nuggets and give out samples to people, right? Well, I would do that, and I wouldn't just stand in front of the Chick-fil-A. I would walk around the whole mall. Like, I would go up to Spencer's Gifts and walk in there and go, "Who wants some chicken?" And, like, no one stopped me. Like, I kind of knew all the people that worked at different stores, because we had a barter system. Like, the guy who worked at the arcade, he would come over and come to me and go, "Hey, man, can I get a chicken sandwich?" I go, "Boom, free, no problem."
And this is back when, it wasn't all digital ink stuff where you could literally probably steal the shit out of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hands down. There was no...
I was like Jesus Christ with the fishes and the loaves. And that stuff never ended. I was walking around just giving out tons of free chicken to people just so I could get like a deal at Spencer's Gifts, or so I could get free tokens at the arcade, So, it was a racket we were running there. But that was fun, actually. I actually kind of enjoyed that job. Because I'd show up at parties with bags of free chicken nuggets, and people just like, "Reep is here with the nuggets," like a star. So...
Nice.
Okay. Are we done with the mall now?
We're done with the mall. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
You were talking about your Harlem Shuffle.
Oh,
the
Harlem Shake. Yeah, I'm going to make I think we talked about this I'm going to do a Hickory version for real. I was like looking up online. If anyone had done this, I haven't seen anyone yet. I'm going to start off. It's going to be called the Hickory Shake. And I got this bluegrass band out of Hickory, North Carolina, believe it or not, called, they used to be called Kudzu. I don't know what they're called now, but he's going to make me a version where it starts off bluegrassy, like it's be a banjo going ding, 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 ding,
right.
ding, 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 ding. And then you're like, "Yo la calarita." And then it's going to turn into like the original version. The bass kicks in, boom, and I'm thinking about getting one of those wacky inflatable things that go out in front of like car dealerships that do right. Get one of those for it. I could spend tons of money doing this for no reason, or I could do it really cheap. I don't know. I don't want to lose money doing it. That's my whole thing. I try not to lose cash, but I'm going to work on a Hickory version. You want to be in it?
I'll do it. Heck yeah.
All right, cool. You'll be in my Hickory Shuffle.
Yeah.
And I wrote this. Because are you familiar with the song at all?
I know the song only because I might be one of the weirdest guys ever. I actually like watching those videos.
Yeah, no, I kind of like
I you know what I mean?
There's many different versions. I could spend all night watching those things.
Yeah. I saw the Simpsons one on it, and it's entertaining. I'd rather watch that stuff than listen to somebody, spout some stupid political shit all the time.
I hear you. Well, do you know what they're saying at the beginning? Of
No idea.
I looked it up. They're saying con los terroristas, but they're not pronouncing the S because that's like a very Cuban or Puerto Rican thing to do is they don't really pronounce the S.
Right.
So it sounds like con los terroristas. And what that means is with the terrorists. And basically, I think someone told me that they're not saying like terrorists, like 9/11 terrorists. It's more like we're going to terrorize the dance floor kind of thing.
Oh, I got you.
So, but I wrote a little Twitter joke. I wrote, in the Harlem Shake, they say con los terroristas, which means with the terrorists. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe jihad to be there. Hello! Come on, Heffron.
Nice.
Jihad to be there.
That's good. John Reen, you make it to the next round.
Yes!
Nice. All right, bud. Well, you know what? This was a good one. I think we came up with some great ideas. I wish I wasn't all cracked out on some sugar, but, I want
to know how your book's going, bro.
I went furniture shopping with the wife today, and the book it's at this point, I'm at the point where it's driving me crazy. Just because I'm so deep into writing this book that if I was the bail now, I'd feel completely shitty that I wasn't able to finish this book because I realize I'm writing a book for an age group that probably isn't searching for this type of book, which is, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to knock it out.
Are you do you envision yourself like locking yourself into a log cabin in the snow somewhere so you can't be distracted by anything
I have
else?
this book coach that I've been working on, and she keeps asking me questions and having me fill out, to go deeper and deeper when I just want to start writing the book. And she's promising, just keep whittling it away, and then once we get to this outline, then you're going to be able to sprint for the rest of the time. To give an example, I do a big thing in my act about how I come to you from the future.
Yes.
Right? And I'm 42 married. There'll be a time, young guys, when all those condoms in your pocket will turn to Tums. And then for a big chunk of my act, I give a lot of advice. But it's really funny. And it's kind of about shit that young guys will one day eventually face. They can't put it off. It will happen. So that's the idea for the book. And it's funny first with a little bit. If you really read it, you'll be able to go, oh, that was actually helpful. It's going to be a nice 150-pager where people can take it into the bathroom. Every chapter's one page. It's going to be one of those. Listen, I'm not Stephen King here, right?
Okay.
So it's going to be like that. But to give you an example, there's some great ways that you can listen to your wife or your girlfriend. There's a couple little actual psychology tricks or ways that to use in therapy to make you a better listener. Well, here's what my writing coach has taught me. No 30-year-old gives a shit about being a better listener to their girlfriend. It's not even on their wheelhouse of problems. So what she's having me do is go through all the subjects that I wanted to talk about and find the real world problem that kid's facing. So one of the chapter is, my girlfriend's pissed, and every time I ask her why, she gets more pissed. That's an actual, more guys are trying to figure out that question. Yeah. Then how do I become a better listener? Right. You know how you frame it differently? So it's a lot of work.
God, I couldn't imagine.
It's a lot, but already since I started this book, I have 4 or 5 other ideas. And now with the way publishing is with Amazon and Amazon Kindle and stuff like that, you can do it and get niche-y and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to write. I want to write one too. When that time comes, I'll.
I'm doing all the heavy lifting now.
Thank you.
I'm doing all the heavy lifting, and I'll be able to tell you how to. Plus, it'll be it'll be really cool because there's books that I read when I was in my late 20s or 30s, because that's the age where you start going, okay, I got to dial some shit in. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have my mattress on the floor next to a milk crate still. I got to figure out my life, yeah. And then I would start reading these books. But, now I look back at some of the books I read, they were all super cheeseball-y. Really, so I'm like, okay, there's a way you can give advice or help people out that are going through what you've already been through and not be a cheeseball about it.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it's going well.
See, and then my goal, I'm going to say this out loud as I turn my mic away to look at the thing. My goal is for it to be done April 30th. That's my goal.
All right.
This was also supposed to be done a year ago. But April 30th is when I'm saying it out loud so people can hold me accountable on Twitter. You can go, hey, fuckface, you getting the book done?
Yeah. Hashtag, how's the book coming?
How's the book coming? Or get the book done, get food court rich.
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
Turn off your Wi-Fi, start writing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Heffron, if you're reading this, you're fucking wasting time. Yes. That's what I need to do is go, I'm not going online or doing anything until it's done.
They need to buy, well, I'm sure they have this, a computer that just does not have Wi-Fi.
You can do it. I have writing programs that it gets rid of everything. But here's how my brain works is obviously you know that I'm all over the place. So I'm working on this book. I'm in Pittsburgh. These guys from Shop Tech. It's just this company. I hope I'm saying it right. It's this company that has this. I'm going to look right here. Say something interesting while I try to find this.
Oh, something interesting. Well, you know that joke I just said about the Harlem Shake, maybe jihad to be there?
Yeah.
Well, I put that on Twitter, and here's what people are saying. One person said, you would have had to been there, B-I-N, like Bin Laden. That one's from Dan Higgs. Good one, Dan. I like that. One person goes, zing! One person says, nice one. One person says, rim shot. One person says, I confess, I giggled. And one person just wrote, John. All caps. John. I don't get that one.
So the place that I was talking about, thanks for covering me there. It's actually called Tech Shop. And so these a friend of mine from high school is their marketing director, and these guys came out to my show, and I was going to do my show and then come back to my room and write and stuff like that. Well, these guys, long story short, they own this huge warehouse, and in the warehouse is like a shop class. Like you can make shit on wood, metal. They have 3D printers, plastic. So if you have a prototype for anything, you go. It's like a gym, and they have like a gym has trainers. They have architects, guys who know how to do prototypes, engineers walking around, and you could go. You have an idea for something, and you take a 2-hour class that kind of shows you safety shit, and then you're on the laser etching machine, like the A-team making whatever it is you want to make, and then you can mass produce shit out of this place, or you can just make a prototype. So it's literally like shop class, but you have access to every high-tech thing ever. So nice. It's a really cool, and they have them in like 5 or 6 different places that I'm performing. So then I got excited. I'm like, cool, I'm going to make me some Chinese throwing stars in every city I go to. It's going to be awesome. So then I get back to my room, long story short, and I go to write on my book. And then for the rest of the night, I think about what I would make at that place.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Do you know what I mean? Like I was thinking of all these ideas. It's pretty cool.
It's kind of like in what's that Christmas movie where the kid wants to be a dentist, but he's making all the toys. It's like you got your own toy factory or something.
So that's Tech Shop. If it's in your area, check it. I mean, it seems like a pretty cool. When we used to do the podcast out of that Go Work place, it's that same vibe, but it's people who the people who made the square. You know the square that you charge stuff on? Yeah. They created the square at the Tech Shop.
Oh, cool.
So the dude went in there with the plastic and was messing around with plastics and etched it and go, hey, this is what it would probably look like and stuff like that. So we should make a project, dude.
All right.
Let's think about that.
For the next podcast.
All right, we'll think about a project. All right, bud. As always, be safe on the road. Everyone should watch Are You Faster Than a Redneck on Redneck or Rednick, depending.
It's Redneck. Are You Faster Than a Redneck? Although the guy who does the voiceover for the Speed Network, he's like a professional voiceover guy. Yeah. He sounds like this.
Was it that older guy that was announcing?
No, this is some other guy, some younger dude. But he pronounces redneck. He's like, next time on Are You Faster Than a Redneck? I'm like, what? Why can't you say neck? It's neck, redneck. Anyway,
hey, by the way,
obviously not a redneck because he can't say the word redneck.
Did you hear anything about that audition we went on? Did you get an official no yet?
I have not gotten an official no, but I've got Ray's number, Ray Oldhaffer, which is Adam Carolla's buddy, right?
Right. Who was super funny.
Super funny, super cool.
Did he get a no?
because I'm getting ready to go on Adam Carolla's podcast tomorrow night, the live version at Amalfi. But anyway, I text him. I was like, "Hey, buddy, I'm going to be on Adam's show. Are you coming?" He goes, "I am now." And then I said, we started talking about the audition, and he hadn't heard anything. But then he said, "No, this just in, I did hear something. They still haven't. They're not finished editing what they want to present to the History Channel, so that's not done yet. But they really liked him." So I haven't heard anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't get it, but
yeah, I didn't either. He's going to be on it. Do you want me to make a guess right now?
Well, I'm going to get. So
we won't even say the name, so we can say like names of people, and no one knows what show we're talking about.
Right, but we're both going to say Ray, and then we're going to pick a comic.
I'm going to say Brian Kalin.
Yeah,
he's very manly,
and those two,
and well spoken and funny.
Yeah, and he's exactly. He's never at a loss for words.
And then that third,
who else was in there?
That third spot is going to be,
It could be, God, what's that guy's name from Chelsea that was there? Not Caprillo, but the other redheaded guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be one. It's going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Or the other, or Josh.
Right.
The Josh who wears the hat all the time on Chelsea. I'm sorry, Josh.
One of those two guys.
I see your last name. I just can't physically bust it out of my head. But Josh, yeah, he's got a podcast called Josh from Ross or something.
Yeah,
it's those guys. But not us, John Reep. But that's okay.
It will not be us or John Caparillo.
It will not be either of us. But we're going to do well in our mall slasher film.
That's right. We got to think of a name.
We'll think of that for next time. Everybody, we appreciate it so much you're listening. Don't forget to go to heffronandreep.com. We don't have sponsors, but there's some random stuff there that you might be interested in. Click on it. Whatever.
Leave us a voicemail on there.
Yeah, we like that. Like, no one ever... Yeah, no one... That's why I'm so over telling anyone to do anything, because they listen to it, and then they eat carrots, and then they move on. So every podcast has you go click on something, so you know what? I'm over it. We're whatever. Just come and see us live and say, hey. Everybody, listen... John Reep has to go eat and spend time with his lovely lady. I am going to go and do the same, and by that I mean spend time with John Reep's wife. We will see you guys next time.
Bye, sir.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. You're tuned in to the #1 show on the planet. The Heffron and Reep Show.